4 reasons why flipping land is the best kept secret in real estate. What's going on, guys? My name is Sumner Healey. I run a company called thelandpioneer.com. In the last 18 months, I've done $2.2 million in raw land sales. I make these videos to document my journey and hopefully help others along the way. So you might be saying, Sumner, flipping land is not a secret, come on. Well, everything is relative. In regard to wholesaling, fix and flip, the BRRRR strategy, all those real estate strategies have a ton of attention, they get a ton of notoriety, and truth be told, flipping land is still a very underserved and underappreciated strategy within the world of real estate investing. Now we're going to discuss the 4 reasons why I think it's actually the best approach you can be taking if you're getting started in the world of real estate investing, or if you're looking to scale a real estate business. The first point is the average ROI per deal is absolutely bananas in the world of land. At the time of this recording, I've done a little over 408 land deals, and for cash sales, we typically see between 100 to 150% ROI per deal. And when we sell properties on owner financing, we typically see about 300 to 350% per property. Not bad, huh? Now, in the world of fix and flip, you might be seeing 20%, 30% cash on cash returns. And yes, in a lot of cases, they are exercising more capital in one swoop. But as we've gone up market in our business and we're now dealing with properties that are 50,000, 75,000, 150,000, we are kind of inching our way up into the same world that fix and flippers might live in. And while we're not able to exercise as much capital as a fix and flipper might be when they're flipping a single family home, our actual net proceeds are pretty darn similar to what you might see on the typical fix and flip. It's not uncommon for us to make $20, $40, $50, $75,000 profit on one land flip. The next thing is there's very little competition in the world of flipping land. Now, have things become more competitive over the last 5 years? For certain. But if we look at how much supply there is of vacant land throughout the US, there's a little over 1.3 billion acres that are privately owned in the US. There's a ton of supply out there. So even with new people getting started in the industry, there is still an abundance of land available. And on the flip side, this business does require some level of subject matter expertise. It's not like you can just go pick up and flip any property that you find. And so what I have found is, although there are more people getting involved, a very small fraction of them are actually taking the time to take the business seriously. What I've seen is pretty common is people stumble into the world of land investing, then they get derailed by some other real estate strategy, and then you never hear from them again. So awareness has spread, but I still think given the amount of land that's out there and the fact that there's maybe only 10,000 people actually doing this in the US, there's still an insane opportunity to be had. The third point is the fact that land still fares pretty well even within a recession. Between 2020 and 2021, demand for land spiked by 155%. Now, some of this was caused by all the money that was flooded by the Fed, and so there are some outside factors that really boosted that number. But what we do see is when times get tough, people resort to the hard physical assets, and one of those is land. Especially in a time when inflation is just ripping people's faces off, land becomes a whole heck of a lot more attractive. The other thing is, in times of uncertainty, people look towards land because land is really all we've got. It can provide sustenance for you and your family, it can provide security, it can provide shelter, it can provide a hedge against inflation. It checks a lot of boxes where a lot of other asset classes don't do the same thing. And so with a recession looming and scarcity around the food supply, and inflation booming, and COVID ripping through cities, the idea of getting out of town, living on your own property, being self-sufficient, and being outside of the madness that is going on in other parts of the country is becoming a whole heck of a lot more appealing. And truth be told, I don't see that trend changing anytime soon. In fact, I think one of the things that COVID taught us is the fact that people are able to take the salary that they're getting in San Francisco or LA or New York, move to a more rural setting in a totally different town or totally different state, and work remotely. What this allows them to do is still capture the value that they're getting from that metropolitan salary while living in a totally different area and living life on their own terms. We noticed that within our business during the pandemic, we were getting a totally different persona in regard to the buyers that were reaching out to us. We were working with people that were making $150,000, $200,000, $250,000 that had tech jobs that were looking to leave San Francisco or leave LA and go move out to the sticks. As the world is becoming more connected, this style of working is becoming the norm. My belief that a lot of humans don't even love living in cities. Living in a city is simply a means to an end. It's a way to capture a high-paying job, it's a way to be social, it's a way to do what society has told you to do. But in people's heart of hearts, I don't think it's really what they want. So all that to be said, I think there's this silent wave of demand that's just building up that's really going to accelerate the need for land over the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years. And the fourth point is there's still so many marketing channels in the world of land investing that are untapped. When I got into this space, everyone was using direct mail. Today, everyone's still using direct mail. Now, direct mail works beautifully and it still makes up the majority of how we actually source our deals, but there's so many different strategies that other real estate investors use in their business which have not been carried over to the world of land investing. You would think we're still in 1995 based on the technology and the marketing channels that most land investors are using today. What that means is that someone coming into this industry that has experience working other marketing channels, whether it's cold calling, cold text, ringless voicemail, whatever it may be, can apply those same principles and reach sellers where they're not being reached. If you've spent time trying to invest in other asset classes within real estate and you're going direct to seller, you know that most sellers are fed up with getting people calling them, texting them, emailing them, writing them notes. What I find is the same is simply not true with land. In a lot of cases, people are shocked that we even want to buy their property. And when we do a deal, a lot of people are incredibly grateful that we've just reached out to buy their piece of vacant land and they're kissing the ground that we walk on. And what I mean by that is most marketing channels in the world of land investing are nowhere near saturated. Now, I'm sure I'm gonna get someone in the comments that says, Sumner, oh my God, 5 years ago it was so much easier to get deals. Well, I'm sure that's the case and times are changing. But the reality is if we look at this industry objectively, there is still so much opportunity. All you have to do is look at the world of wholesaling single family houses and compare that to land investing. And that will tell you everything you need to know in regard to what a competitive industry looks like versus what a blue ocean looks like. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. Those are the 4 reasons why I am so bullish on land investing. I think it's an incredible opportunity within the world of real estate investing. If you guys have any questions, drop them down below. I respond to every single comment. If you got value from this video, a thumbs up would mean the world. And if you want more land investing content, hit subscribe.